What is happening, guys? Seen the title. We're going to do some mobility work today. You've been training hard. Your muscles are a little sore, especially in the leg, lower region area. I'm going to take you through a mobility routine that you can follow along that is going to release all the tension, get the tightness out of your muscles, and just make you feel better overall. This is for athletes, people in the gym, anyone, even if you're just like, just looking for something to ease up some muscle tension, muscle pain, those sort of thing. I'm going to take you through the mobility routine. So let's do it. Very simple. Should be able, no matter what your current level of mobility or stretching is, there's always going to be something that you can do or just regress the position that we're going to go into, that you can still get a benefit from the movement. So let's go. So guys, we are going to start off with a simple just toe touch coming down. Now guys, if I'm honest with you, you should be able to touch your toes. I mean, if you're not touching your toes, then you know you've got a lot of work to do. However, if you can't touch your toes, then I just want you to go down as far as you can, and then we're just going to start off with some nice deep breaths. And every time we take a deep breath and we exhale, I want you to try and just reach down a little bit further. If it's painful, just stop. However, the deep breath is going to allow our muscles to relax more, and we're going to be able to get into a deeper position. So it's just literally going to be two more. And whatever position you are in now, just relax, just breathe. You want to get to the point where maybe you can put your palm straight on the floor, your fingertips on the floor, but just continue to breathe deeply and stretch out those hamstrings. You want those legs nice and straight. We don't want any sort of bend in the hamstrings. We want the hamstrings to really stretch out, get a good benefit from doing this movement here, guys. You never realize how you lack a certain amount of flexibility or mobility until you try to put yourself in a certain position, and then you're like, wow, I got a lot of work to do, guys. All right, so next thing we're going to do now is just going to walk out with our hands very slowly. If you have to bring your hands to the ground, then do that. And then we're just going to come up down to the mat and then up into a cobra pose, guys, just like that. That's really going to help to stretch the lower back. Get a nice good stretch, guys. Also the core region is getting a nice stretch. The abdominals, the obliques, everything is getting a nice stretch here, guys. And really try to accentuate, bringing your head up a little bit as well, to really get that mobility in the spine as well, guys. Again, nice deep breaths. Feel it through the core. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to rock back up into a downward dog position. So for those you don't know what that is, it's literally just going to push back, try to get our heels to the ground while keeping our hands flat on the floor. You can bring your hands up a little bit if that's easier for you, so you can bring your heels to the ground like that, but you want that nice elongated stretch through the hamstrings. Again, the arms and the shoulders are getting a nice stretch as well, guys. Couple deep breaths here. Alright guys, so next we're going to walk our hands back out again until we're into a plank position like so, and then we're going to come into a runner's lunge. So what we're going to do is just bring one foot forward like that. You can lower your back leg if you don't have the strength yet to keep your leg up, but we want to aim to keep our leg up in this runner's lunge, just like that. That's really going to help with the glutes, the abductors, the inner thighs, the groin, and the hips as well. So we just want to hold this position, both hands on the floor. Your hand should be inside of your foot, and just do some nice breathing there. Then you're going to bring your foot back and you're going to switch sides. Now again, if you need to go here first, or your back knee on the ground, you can start with that. However, the goal is still to be here, nice and strong, guys. I want to be here nice and strong. You can use one hand if it's easier for you as well. But you should be feeling it in the groin region, the hip flexors as well. Really stretch those out. They do get very tight when you do exercise or you're sitting for long periods, guys. Right, so then we're going to progress this now. So we're going to bring our feet back here. We're going to come back to the plank position. We're going to bring the first foot back forward. And now we're going to bring our knee to the ground. But we're going to also bring our elbows to the ground as well. So it's going to be bang, bang, and we're going to rest here. Now, if you can't do this yet, you might have to just start by just lowering yourself a little bit more. So just bend at the elbows there. But we really want to make sure that we're getting those elbows to the ground like this. If you have to kick your foot out to take a bit off the stress off of the groin, then do so. But this is the position that we want to be in, guys. So just take some nice deep breaths right here. Never force yourself into a position. So if you can't do that all the way down to the ground, just stay here, guys. Just stay here, and again, just rock down gently. Every time you breathe, you're just rocking down more and more. Take your time. Now we're going to kick this foot back, and we're going to switch sides. You're going to be able to see it better from this side now. Knee down to the ground, and we're just going to bring our elbows down to the floor like that. Again, nice deep breaths. Remember, guys, it's not about fighting the position, fighting yourself into the position, making yourself feel uncomfortable. We're just taking our body, into deeper ranges of motion safely. And then that way we move better, we function better. And also it's going to save us from, getting injured, because sometimes we're going to be put in positions that exceed, our current level. But if we are very flexible, if we just, an accident happens or a mistake happens, it's not a position that's unusual to the body, and we'll be able to cope, guys. So again, these exercises very beneficial. Okay, so we'll come back into the plank position, guys. We're gonna walk our feet forward like that. We're gonna bring our knees to the ground, feet flat on the ground as well. So literally your foot is driving into the ground, guys. And we're gonna lower ourselves back. This is gonna put a nice stretch on the quad. So you can lower yourself back like that. If here is painful or here is, enough for you, you can stop here. If you can go further and you can rest your elbows on the ground, excellent. But we want nice deep breaths, because we're gonna build into being able to rest our back on the ground fully, guys. So we really want to be here. Again, a nice big stretch on the quads, on the hip flexors, the core as well. The ankles are also getting stretched. And again, if you can't go there, just stay here, guys. Just stay here. You can just rock back a little bit, test it out, see how it feels. It took me a long time to be able to get into these positions that I'm in now. When I first did it, I was absolutely gobsmacked by, how unflexible or inflexible that I was. Haven't played football for a long time. So doing these stretches was definitely a reality check for me. And then you can just come back up, guys. Just like that. Take some weight off the ankles. And you just want to drive your toes in the ground, and we're just going to rest back like this, and this is going to put a nice stretch on the feet, guys. Just a nice stretch. Just rest here, especially if you're doing this barefoot. Definitely allows toes and the bottom of the foot to get a nice stretch, guys. So making sure that we cover everything. All right, and then from here we're going to come back up like that, and we're now going to go into a very, very deep squat. I believe this is called the Masalana pose. So I'll show you from the side, shoulder width apart, And we're just gonna come down like that. And we're just gonna get into a nice squat, guys. We're gonna use our arms to push out our hips and our groin. Again, if you can't get into this position and you may have to sit a little bit higher, that is fine. But the goal is to be down in this position. Again, getting a nice stretch on the inner thighs, the groin. Also, the back is also getting a nice stretch as well, the lower back. And we're just sitting here, guys, in this bottom movement. And the more you breathe and allow yourself to go deeper into the stretch, the more comfortable it is gonna become, guys. I can sit in this stretch for minutes and you know, it doesn't bother me. But it's gonna open up the ankles as well, guys. But very, very beneficial stretches that you should be doing. So just rest here, sit here. You can rock side to side as well to really open up the groin region. But it's going to be very, very beneficial to you, especially if you're an athlete. You might want to do this days after game, after training, you know, on your days off, just to keep the body moving. And even if you're not an athlete and you're sedentary for, you know, long periods of the day, whatever, let's say you're a truck driver, something like that, where, you know, your body's in fixed positions, doing these will help to alleviate a lot of problems down the line, guys. So again, we're just going to come back up and I'll just show you from the front angle exactly how that looks. So shoulder width, feet apart. You want your feet slightly facing out, and we're just resting here, guys. Again, you can just use these, you know, your elbows to push out your feet. You want to keep your back nice and straight. You don't want to be hunched over. You want to make sure that you've got a nice upright posture. Keep the upper back as well nice and aligned, and you can just look straight forward. And we're just breathing nice and deeply, guys. And when we come out of this position, take your time coming out of this position. Do whatever feels comfortable for you. If you need to place your hands on the ground and push yourself up, that's fine. If you need to go to one side like that to get out of the position, that's fine as well. Just do what feels comfortable for you, guys. So the next position now that we're going to go into, we're going to bring one knee down onto the ground, one foot out to the side, and we're just going to get a nice stretch again on that inner thigh, just like that. And just hold here, guys. Just hold there. You really want to drive this foot into the ground to really feel that stretch. Again, it's not supposed to be painful. And then we're just going to switch sides. Same thing on this side. Really drive that foot into the ground. Get a nice stretch on those abductors. All right, now if you want to take this to the next level, guys, what you can do is you can bring your feet wide apart and you can just come down to one side like that. And again, that's going to be a bit more of a deeper stretch. Also going to put a deeper stretch on the ankle. If you need to do this against the wall to start with, you can, just to find your balance, but that puts a nice stretch again on that inner thigh and also this leg as well. And then you can just switch over. If you need to raise your heel off the ground for it to be comfortable, that is fine, but if you can bring your heel flat to the ground, that is perfect as well, guys. And we just hang out here for a few moments. I already feel better from doing this, I'll be honest with you. I did leg day yesterday, I believe, and I feel better already just doing these few movements. Alright, guys, so next we're just going to come onto the mat, take a nice seat, and we're just going to do a nice lean forward, and we're aiming to either grab our toes and bring them towards us, or the bottom of the shoe or the bottom of your foot, depending on if you've got footwear on or not. And we're just breathing through this movement, guys. aim is to try and get our chest to our thighs eventually. That's lovely. And then next now, we're going to keep the same position, but I'm going to have to move position because obviously the wall is there. So what we're going to do, guys, is bring our feet nice and wide. And we're just going to work to one side. Really get that stretch. This is going to help the lower back, but also give a nice stretch on the legs as well. And we're just going to hold one side. Now again, if you can't reach your foot, no biggie. You need to just come here, or you hold your knee, whatever. But every time you breathe, it's a nice deeper stretch into the movement. It might take you a few breaths to get into, you know, reaching for your foot or holding onto your foot, but that's fine. So if you need to just go down one time, reset, and as you come back down, inhale, exhale, get that good stretch. Take as long as you need on either side as well, guys. It's not a rush. Don't rush through this. Can hold this position for 30 seconds to a minute. If you want to do longer than a minute, it's up to you. But we're just making sure that we're taking care of our body. And then we'll go to the other side one more time. And lovely. So now what we're going to do is we're also going to reach forward, guys, as well. So we've gone side to side, but we want to make sure that we're going to get that lean forward as well. We can really rest our hands and try to pull ourselves forward. It's going to open up both of the inner thighs right here, and also open up the lower back as well. We're taking our time with each movement. It's not a rush at the end of the day. So now we're going to bring both feet in, just like this. So feet touching together, and we're trying to work our knees to the ground. So don't try and force them and push them. Again, same thing. So if you just start up here, you take a nice inhale, exhale, bring them down to where you feel tightness in each side of the groin, and then hold there and just continue to breathe. And naturally your groin is going to open up more and more. So anyone who's coming back from a groin strain or something of that nature, this is an exercise that you want to be doing as well. Now you can take it to another level. Once you start to get really good at these, you can place some weights, or you can just push down with your elbows. Again, don't overdo it, don't injure yourself, just a light press. To open up those groins, guys. Now for the final exercise, and this is extra credit because this is a bit more intense compared to the other movements. We're gonna bring our foot up onto the wall. So let me just move this mat back slightly because I am gonna need the mat to drive my foot into the ground. So we're gonna bring our knee to the bottom of a wall. Our foot is gonna be up against the wall, guys. And again, we're just going to hold here, just like that. The aim is to bring our back to the wall. But however, if you're still here or you're needing to stay here, that is fine as well. But the goal at the end of the day is to be able to bring our back to the wall. I will show this one from a different angle, but you are going to get a deep stretch in your quad, in your groin. The ankle's also going to get a nice stretch because of the position that it is on the wall. But it's a really, really nice movement, guys. You can rock back and forth, you know, to really open up everything. And then we're just going to switch sides to come down nice and safely. And we'll switch sides. So again, get that knee at the bottom of the wall. Nice upright posture. And just breathe into it, guys. Whoa, almost lost my balance there. And this is just to show you guys what it looks like from a different angle. So probably best if I do this foot first. Get your knee as close to the wall as you possibly can. It's comfortable. And then foot out in front. Nice and tall. You can put your hands on this knee to support yourself. And again, the goal is to get our back to the wall. But go where you feel most comfortable. And then build from there, guys. But I want you to maintain those deep breaths. Now, with most things, you are going to have a side which is, you know, more flexible or mobile than the other. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It just means that that side is obviously exactly what I said. Same way you have a stronger side when you're exercising. So you can aim to bring your head back to the wall first, and then eventually you can get your back and everything else to the wall, guys. And that, my friends, is gonna conclude the mobility for the lower body for today, guys. Nothing crazy, nothing intense. You don't need any equipment apart from maybe a mat or a carpet, something that is comfortable enough for you to do these movements on, guys. But definitely program them into your routine, to your lifestyle, to your schedule, whatever. Again, you don't have to be an athlete to do this. Everyone should be stretching. Everyone should be, you know, making sure that their body is mobile and flexible, especially as you get older. As you get into older age, you need to be doing these things a bit more frequently, because as the classic saying goes, if you don't use it, you lose it. And you only be an old person and you can't even bend down and get something off the floor, guys. So at the end of the day, just make sure once or twice a week you're taking yourself through a nice mobility routine like this, and you'll be golden. But I appreciate you for watching. Make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.